Joining me now is someone who's there with her. Deepender Hooda has been with her right through this entire episode that started a few days ago, that started day before yesterday, when both he and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra were taken into custody. Deepender Hooda, you are presumably there in Sitapur at that police civil lines. Please tell us exactly what at the moment are you planning to do? What is your status along with that of Priyanka Gandhi Vadra? Are you all both not allowed to leave the police civil lines?
We are not allowed, Rajiv. Neither is anybody allowed to come and visit us. There's a watertight security under which we have been kept at the police line here in Sitapur for the last, I would say, 42 hours or so. Day before yesterday, in the night about 3 a.m., 4 a.m., we were taken into police custody under Section 151, as we were verbally told by the CO, Mr. Piyush Singh, at that point of time. Since then, officially nothing has been conveyed to us apart from the fact that we have been kept under watertight security for this period of 42 hours. Now, we have been asking the authorities that tell us, because even if you have preventive custody you have taken under Section 151, that can only last for 24 hours. After that, they'll have to either produce us in front of a magistrate or arrest us under some other section. Today in the evening, there are widespread news which we saw on various news channels and social media that we have been put under arrest also, and this police line has been converted into a prison.
Yes, that is, no, that is
but
what
that
we are being told. We are being told that you have been arrested. We were told this afternoon that the UP police, based on an FIR that was filed under Section 151 and with the concerns under 106, 107, that you threat to disturb peace, you all are under arrest. Now, I know that Mr. Chidambaram and others are telling us that the arrest is illegal, but the UP police, UP government says they have arrested you because they feared, apprehended that if you went to Lakhimpur Kheri, you could possibly, it could result in a disturbance to law and order.
Now, how can 4 people disturb law and order? We were just 4 of us trying to go to meet the families of the victims. How can we disturb in law and order? I can also say that after this heinous crime has been perpetuated, wouldn't the continuation of MOS home only in his office lead to destruction of evidence? The entire system is tilted towards them. Destruction of evidence, trying to manage certain witnesses, trying to change the investigation to protect. Why nobody has been arrested so far? The system is totally with the people who have perpetuated the crime here. So let somebody go and stand with the victims also. Let them not be denied the right. The victims, all the families also have the right to voice their part of the story to somebody, to have somebody stand with them in solidarity. But this is not an equal fight for justice.
But Mr. Hooda, the question that I had asked Priyanka Gandhi Vadra yesterday also to be asked to you, your critics are saying that the Congress party, with an eye on the UP elections, is somehow or the other trying to take political capital out of what has been a tragic incident in which farmer protesters have died, a few BJP workers and a local journalist have died. That this is should not be made into a political battle between the BJP and the Congress and the opposition, but it should be about those victims who have tragically died in this incident.
BJP, let somebody say it to me. I will give the answer. This is not about UP elections or about one political party or another. It's about the spirit of justice on which this country was founded. It's about everyone being equal in the eyes of the law. And this is not the first fight that Priyanka ji has undertaken. You look at the last couple of years that she has been in charge of Uttar Pradesh, she has fought for every such situation. And you look at the farmer agitation, of which this incident is a gruesome, gruesome incident in the farm protest overall. We, as citizens of this country and as a political party, we have stood by the farmers and we have visited every single place that we could over the last 11 months. The question that you should be asking is for the government. The government for the last 11 months has completely disregarded the farmers of this country, the farm agitation of this country. 600 people have
Bhupinder
lost their
Hooda,
lives sitting on those dharnas.
sorry, Deepinder Hooda, I can understand your anger at the moment, and I think the anger over the manner in which the farmers' concerns have not been met may be shared by many others, but there is also again criticism that the Congress does not reach out to the farmers of Rajasthan, where there is a Congress government, where yesterday farmers were seen to have been lathi charged, that you all are selective, you all are going to Uttar Pradesh because there are elections there.
No, now you are being selective. You are selective in first asking questions of opposition. You should be asking questions of the government. And you are also being selective of just one incident in Rajasthan yesterday. You are just painting the stand of the Congress party in that regard. Absolutely unfortunate. There are 600 farmers have lost their lives in this agitation. Out of them, every farmer with family who has lost someone in Haryana, I have visited each family. Priyanka ji has gone to visit the families of the farmers who lost their lives, who are from Uttar Pradesh. 5 months back also, she went to Rampur, one village where a farmer lost his life. She has held Kisan Panchayats. The fact is that those visits, you were absent, Rajdeep. Media was absent when we were standing with the farmers. And today, when this incident has taken place, which has stirred the soul of our nation, you are suddenly now media is covering it and unfortunately asking questions of those who want to stand in solidarity with the victims in fight for justice. But we are not bothered. We are not bothered by the way in which UP government has physically handled us to stop us, has denied the right. And
no, you are claiming you have been physically manhandled. You are claiming that you have been illegally confined there without having been served the proper documentations. But I want to ask you this: what now? We are told that Rahul Gandhi is now coming to Sitapur. Several of your leaders like Bhupesh Baghel have been trying to reach Lakhimpur. It appears that the entire Congress is getting galvanized. What do you plan to do now? What are your options?
We are not thinking about options. For us, it is fight for justice, justice for the farmers and justice for these victims. And I'll tell you what we are demanding. See, first, the justice for the victims. Justice can only be achieved if there is a fair investigation. Now, you can understand a fair investigation cannot take place if it is just held by UP police or a central agency, because these agencies or these police are reporting to their political bosses, whether in the state or the center. Fair investigation is only possible if it is held under monitorship of a sitting judge of Supreme Court or High Court. Number one. Number two, investigation cannot take place fairly until the MOS home does not resign on moral grounds or he's sacked, because till the time he's there, last 3 days, the message is that the government is standing by MOS home.
So you're saying that the Minister of State for Home...
I'll ask you this.
Yes.
I'll ask you this. As a seasoned journalist, tell me, Lakhimpur MP, who's Minister of State, Home Affairs of Government of India, his son is alleged criminal in this matter. Would a Lakhimpur IO investigation officer, a low-ranked police official in Lakhimpur, won't their fingers tremble when it comes to investigation and putting those criminals under dog? How can you expect fair investigation? How can the victims expect fair investigation? That's the question that you should be asking.
Fair enough. I will be asking that. I will have a UP...
The entire country and the entire system.
Yes.
And the governments want to stand behind those who mow down, blinded by their arrogance, mow down these victims. Let Rahul ji, let Priyanka ji, let us stand with those victims also. Somebody has to stand with them.
There are 8 victims. There are 8 victims. Those who have been mowed down as well as those who were lynched are all victims. I will ask you this though, Deepender Hooda. can I ask you, at the moment you're able to come on my channel, you're there in, are you being basically told that you cannot leave the place? The rest you can do what you want? Are you being given all other facilities there, you and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra in Sitapur police civil lines? Or are you being monitored, not allowed to move at all?
Rajdeep, let government tell you that you will not leave the 4 square walls of your studio. And let the government give you facilities. Loss of liberties, loss of everything.
But we just heard Priyanka Gandhi Vadra addressing the workers.
My rights as a citizen.
We just heard Priyanka Gandhi Vadra addressing workers. How was that possible then?
No. We have been allowed the usage of telephones. That is why we are. I am also.
I see.
Able to talk to
You're only allowed over audio.
I am able to talk to you, and if I am able to talk to you, of course, the mobile can be put on a mic, and she can address any workers also.
Okay.
That's also a possibility. But I'm asking you, let you be confined in four walls, loss of liberties, loss of everything. It is my right to go and to go to a grieving family where injustice has been meted out, to console the grieving family and to tell them that I stand with them and they are not alone.
Okay.
Somebody in this country, the parliament cannot be moot spectator. The media of this country cannot be moot spectator. You have to decide which side you are on. Whether you are on the side of those who have crushed these people, these farmers, mow down these farmers, or with those who have been crushed.
I think you have put very strong words there. You're saying people need to now decide who they stand with. Do they stand, you're saying, with the farmers who are mowed down? Do they stand, you believe, with justice? I think we stand with the families of all the 8 people who died in this tragic incident, as we all should. And they deserve they deserve justice, they deserve accountability, and they deserve empathy above all else. Deepender Hooda, stay well, stay safe. I know you've come and joined us in a very difficult time, at a time when you can't move out. You're saying out of the 4 walls from there. But I appreciate your joining us because you've been there with Priyanka Gandhi Vadra throughout and thereby are actually an eyewitness to what happened in the last 40 hours there. Thanks very much, Deepender Hooda, for joining me there. Now,